Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you. Welcome to Monday's edition of the Full 100. Hope you all had a fabulous weekend like I did. Had a great weekend and looking forward to a fabulous week too. Guys, we're starting, this show is all about Trump, guys, and all of you believers in still got people texting me saying the reason they don't like Trump is because he knows what people don't know. So, I mean, what can you do? How can you help people like that? There's no helping idiots like that. All right. So, guys, today is about trying to pull the rug from underneath their feet, guys. So, without further ado, guys, I'm really chuffed about today's show. Let's get to it. I want to start with the snake oil salesman himself, Trump, right? You've been hearing that this guy is trying to get a vaccine out before election day, yeah? You can't be dumb not to know why he's trying to rush a vaccine. Every scientist is saying it looks like next year. This guy is telling you he's coming and anyone who goes against that. So this is the backdrop of what I'm about to show you. It's 3 clips on one video. Last week, Thursday, the CDC director, the Center for Disease Control, they're the top scientists. They're the ones who control science in America, vaccine okay and all that, FDA okay, sorry, but the CDC is like up there. Basically, the head of the CDC was called to Congress and he had to answer questions under oath. Now, you know, if you go answer questions under oath, if you lie, a lot of these top people have been to prison for lying under oath, so they don't tend to lie under oath, So this guy's asked questions about vaccines, he tells the truth. He's asked about masks, he tells the truth. Friday evening, Trump comes and he does a press conference saying the guy was misunderstanding, he didn't understand the question. Oh yeah, I called him about those 2 things. What do you mean you told them that vaccine ain't going to be ready till next year? Trump is now speaking for the guy saying, he says he didn't understand the question. The director of the CDC didn't understand the question. So those of you idiots, okay, those of you mugs who think you're onto something right, the signs are so loud, but yet you still miss it. It's shocking, really. It's shocking. These guys are bereft of any sense any longer, okay? This guy is trying to push you off snake oil. This is the same guy that tried to push you hydroxychloroquine. This same guy tried to tell you can inject bleach. He told you can put UV ray inside your body. Anything but focusing on the real job at hand. You know, it's like you got a carpenter in the house, you got floorboards you want to fix. But the carpenter's interested in sorting out your microwave. The microwave is fine. Don't worry about the microwave. It's the floor that got you here to do. Oh, you got a problem with your fridge. Let me sort out your fridge. No, the fridge is fine, my friend. Focus on your hair as a carpenter. This guy is the president. He's supposed to be running a federal cohesive system to fight back against this pandemic. Yet he's spending his whole time being in everybody else's business, being in the scientist's business saying they're not doing this, being in Fauci's business saying Fauci's not doing this, telling people not to wear masks one day, then he's wearing. So guys, that's the crux of the show. My first video is just that. Take a look.
President Trump taking on his CDC director, calling him confused and mistaken on 2 issues central to stopping the spread of the virus: masks and vaccines. Let's start with this. Trump, after Dr. Robert Redfield, head of the CDC, said it would be up to a year before a vaccine is available to the general public.
I think he made a mistake when he said that. It's just incorrect information. And I called him, and he didn't tell me that, and I think he got the message, maybe confused. I saw the statement. I called him. I said, what did you mean by that? And I think he just made a mistake.
So y'all had the call. You said that you told him that he had made a mistake. What was his response?
No, I didn't tell him anything. I said, what happened? And I got the impression that he didn't realize he said what he might have said. I didn't see him say it.
Okay, well, let's let you hear him say it. Here is Dr. Redfield today under oath.
I think there will be vaccine that initially be available sometime between November and December, but very limited supply and will have to be prioritized. If you're asking me when is it going to be generally available to the American public so we can begin to take advantage of vaccine to get back to our regular life, I think we're probably looking at late second quarter, third quarter, 2021.
Okay, that is sobering. Late second quarter.
So, guys, he comes out and he contradicts his own CDC chairman, the head of the CDC, on vaccines because the guy told the truth. Listen to Trump's voice, though. His voice changes when he said, well, I think if you ask him, he's going to say that he got it wrong. Listen to his voice, how it cracks when he's lying. Understand what you're watching. With all seriousness, all jokes aside, understand what you're watching. You're watching an honest guy who's running a scientific body, agency, go in front of the Congress, knowing he's liable to be prosecuted and end up in jail if he lies, tells the truth, and his boss faces the camera hours later and says, nah, he didn't tell me that. He said, what he told me is that he got the question wrong. What he told me is that he didn't understand the question. Understand the question about when is the vaccine going to be ready. So understand what you're watching. You're watching a culture where the truth tellers are kicked out, where the truth tellers are made to lie, where the truth tellers are vilified, where the liars at the top of the food chain, where the world's flipped upside down, where lying is up here and telling the truth is down here, and you can look bad and you could be made to feel bad for telling the truth. Take a look at part 2 to this video.
Okay, that is sobering. Late second quarter, third quarter. That's the end of the summer, of the fall of next year. It is a year away, and it is long after Election Day 2020. That was his honest, clear, scientific assessment. The president didn't like it. And then the president continued to suggest that Dr. Redfield got it wrong today when he said this.
We have clear scientific evidence they work, and they are our best defense. I might even go so far as to say that this face mask is more guaranteed to protect me against COVID than when I take a COVID vaccine.
The irony that the president of the United States, who keeps saying he wants a vaccine by Election Day to help him, actually has one in his hands and refuses to have his own supporters wear them at his rallies, that is pretty incredible. But here's the president, again, publicly rebuking his CDC director.
I called him about that. Those were the two things I discussed with him. And I believe that if you ask him, he would probably say that he didn't understand the question. Because I said to him, I asked him those two questions, the one question which we covered and the mask question. When I called up Robert today, I said to him, what's with the mask? He said, I think I answered that question incorrectly. I think maybe he misunderstood it.
That's absurd. He didn't misunderstand it. And it was.
Welcome back again, guys. Now, that's now a mask, yeah? The stupid guy, Trump, doesn't realize that this guy has been consistent about masks. He's been consistent about masks. What he said on that day about masks, he said it time and time and time again. So you, Mr. Trump, coming out the day after and said, oh no, he didn't mean what he said about masks. Guess what? They can pull up tons and tons of videos where the guy said exactly the same thing because that's the truth. And that's what he believes in. So all you guys who don't want to argue about masks, understand that your stubbornness about masks comes from one person and one person only. Okay? After this video, the next one, you see what I mean. So here's the same guy that Trump said he didn't understand the question, saying the same thing about masks in July when he did understand the question. Take a look.
Absurd. He didn't misunderstand it, and it was very clear what he said. wasn't confused. And by the way, it's not just that he said it today, right? That held it up and said that about the vaccines and that it's the most effective thing we have. He's actually repeatedly said the same thing. The masks work. It's not even the first time that he has compared their effectiveness to that of vaccines. Here he is in July.
We're not powerless. We don't have to wait for a vaccine, although I think we're going to be successful sooner than many people think. We have the most powerful weapon at our hands right now. I mean, it's an enormously powerful weapon. It's just a simple, flimsy mask.
Consistency.
Here's my last video today, and this is critical. You all know Trump, these idiots that believe in QAnon, and these Brits, some who are friends that we know, all believe this pedophilia ring, right? And I've said it more than once in my video. If you see how Trump kisses his own daughter, I don't know how any of you can think Trump is a savior. It's really mind-boggling. It's like they've given you guys drugs, some kind of drugs that's just taking your whole brain cells out. The way this guy has kissed his daughter live on camera, and I'm going to find it and show it here one day, because I've seen it. Literally like he's kissing a girlfriend. To me, Trump is the epitome of a pedophile. The guy was in charge of the Miss World Beauty thing. He bought the franchise. Only so he can go backstage and walk through, because he's the boss, and watch them all getting changed naked. You know, they're models. That's the only reason this guy bought the franchise, so he can go backstage and see naked young 15, 14, 16-year-old girls as a 60-odd-year-old man. Now he's in his 70s, of course, but this is going back when he was in his 60s, years ago, okay? Here's his lawyer's daughter talking to the camera for the first time, because her dad revealed that Trump was trying to lust after his 15-year-old daughter. After you've seen this video, you still think Trump is not the pedophile? That is Bill Gates? That is Oprah Winfrey? That is all these people, all these other, Obama, Michelle Obama, all these innocent people who've never done anything wrong in their lives like that. That Trump is the one that's come to get rid of them? Take a look at this last video, and if after you watch this video you're not disgusted and immediately change your mentality about who you think Trump is, then there's no helping you. Take a look.
We've known the story for quite a while that at one point Michael Cohen, former very close employee to Donald Trump, had been walking with him at a golf club. Donald Trump commented on the physical appearance of a woman that he saw playing tennis, saying that he would like a piece of that. And Michael Cohen pointed out to him that that was Michael Cohen's 15-year-old daughter. That's just what Trump does. That's just what he does. And we've known that story for some time, but now Samantha Cohen, the former 15-year-old that Trump had sexualized in that way, went on CNN to speak with Allison Camerota about it. And here is how she talked about that particular incident.
You were at President Trump's, well, he was just Donald Trump, his country club. And you were playing tennis and you came off the court. And here's how it was written in Vanity Fair. Somehow Trump's attention was diverted to another skirt walking off a tennis court. Quote, "Look at that piece of ass," Cohen recalls Trump saying as he whistled and pointed. Quote, "I would love some of that." It so happened that Trump was referring to Cohen's then 15-year-old daughter, Samantha. Do you remember that moment? Because it goes on to write that after that you came over, he wanted you to give him a kiss. And he said, "When did you get such a great figure?"
So as I told Emily, the story is a little bit less clear to me. I'm sure many women can relate. You become desensitized to men making these kinds of comments to you, and you allow them to go over your head and you kind of tune out the noise. But what stood out to me in that moment was he said to my dad, "Well, there's no way that she got her looks from you. Thank God you married a beautiful woman." And I was desensitized to men making creepy comments about me, but I was not desensitized to someone blatantly insulting and degrading my father in front of me, someone who
But yeah, no, it totally happened. And that is, let's say, the 30th creepiest thing that we have him saying about underage girls, because he said such more horrendous stuff, including about his own daughter, his own flesh and blood. Only reason I bring this up is we're in a time where millions of Americans say there is one story going on in the world, and that is the international network of rich elites and their pedophile rings and the sexualization of children. And not one of these sorts of things breaks through to them. Tom Hanks and Chrissy Teigen that are eating children. Maybe the politician that you think is gonna crack down on the whole thing, maybe he's been sexualizing kids the entire time.
Welcome back, guys. If it wasn't a nasty person and a nasty story, I will be gloating to say I told you so. However, there's a child victim in that, and it's impossible to gloat. Okay, guys, listen, finishing on that somber note, hopefully Wednesday's edition will be more uplifting. We're going to come back to COVID on Wednesday. In the meantime, we're heading into autumn, I hear, by the end of the week, so enjoy the last couple of days of the summer. We didn't have much of a summer this year, but it is what it is, isn't it? We got 2021. Hopefully we'll make it to that far. Guys, all the best, and I'll see you guys in a couple of days. So have a fantastic evening today. Take care. Bye-bye now.